stick them out. Okay, and I should round these corners too, because I want them to be rounded, and I realize that I haven't done that. So there we go. I cut it out. So that you could easily use for an ear down the line. So don't throw anything out. Keep these pieces, because you can always use them for other parts of the head. So there we go. We've got the hole where the mouth plate is. We still have the marks where the middle of the mouth is approximately. I mean, this isn't an exact art sometimes, but you've got to get an idea. And now, what we're going to start with is gluing in the middle of the mouth, okay, in the crease. So this area right here is a good place to start, okay. So, here we go. Oh, that's cool, Lace. Lace made the suggestion of putting the scrap in a book with the recipe for the color, if it's a custom color, so that you have a real sample of how the color turned out mixing your dyes. So that's a great suggestion. Okay, so the secret here is I'm going to put it just a little, so far, I hope you can see this, just a little above the edge, or not above, but in from the edge of the mouth plate. Because I want to pull the fabric a bit out so the glue will spread out and glue right to the edge. If you know your goal is to not get any glue on the mouth plate, the black area. If you do, you can always use you can see I did get a little mark right there. You can use a Blackie to touch it up, okay? But your ultimate goal is not to try to get it on there. So here we go. You don't want to use too much glue because it can bleed through the fabric, and then you'll start seeing watermarks, as they call it, and it looks like stuff where glue leaked through the fabric. So here we go. I got my glue gun. Setting is on high. And what I'm going to do is let it sit for a few minutes to help it help it cool down a little, and so that it doesn't again leak through the fabric as much. So there we go. I'm going to have to hold the mouth open. So there's the glue. And you got to make sure your fabric's in the right position. And now, this takes a lot of coordination. So now I'm going to place it on. There we go. And just gently tap it down. Do not press it down too hard, or again, you run the risk of it bleeding through the fabric. And while it's still hot, I'm going to pull it along a little. Get it some. Make sure the glue is right to the edge. Okay.
Yeah, and you'll notice that he matched his little marks on the inside of the fabric, on the back side of the fabric, to the crease on the inside of the mouth that he's gluing to.
Thank you. Yes, I did. Exactly. So I'm just going to make sure that I get this. I want the mouth as big as I can without going overly big. Oops. Okay.
So you're pulling the fleece to the outside, but you're not pulling it past where you have your glue because you don't want your glue to show.
Right.
Is that correct?
That's right. Exactly. So I'm just getting this. It looks like one corner had let go, so I'm thinking that the glue has not quite settled.
Super Sensational was asked if it is recommended that you use a hot glue gun for gluing the fabric onto your puppet.
Only the mouth plate. That's a very good question. I do not recommend doing the whole puppet with a glue gun because glue guns aren't stable. But for this process, the mouth plate, it is probably the best idea, or is pretty commonly used, I guess is what I mean.
Lace has also asked if you can pin it in place to check if you have everything right before you start gluing.
No, not really, because it's a mouth plate. If it's hard, you can't pin it. Okay, I've done now another layer right here of glue. I hope you can see that. It's just around the edge, and I'm waiting for it to cool down, and then I'll be pulling down, and this is the bottom plate. So I'm going to wait, like I said, for it to cool down a bit, and then I'll be pulling it out. Okay. Yeah, it's really hard to pin this. It's really gluing and then stretching and trying to get it as even. It's a tricky part, a very, very tricky part to do this. And you might get glue, you might not get it even the first round. And it looks easy, but it's a bit more trickier than what it looks. Okay, I think it's settled. So I've got to work quickly. Okay, you know what? I'm going to start over. You know what? I waited too long and it went hard. So, welcome. So I'm just.
You'll notice that now that it's hardened up, you can kind of peel it away.
Yeah, I'm just going to use a razor blade to quicken up the process carefully. So I am. Oops, waited too long. Welcome to live TV, people. So, no biggie. I can peel a lot of it off. I want to get rid of it. I do not want the lump to be there. Or as much as I can get rid of, I will. And it's pretty easy to get rid of. As you can see, I'm using a razor blade and just carefully following along. And it'll take most of it off, and it's pretty smooth underneath. So no biggie. And again, the fleece will cover up any little bump. But like I said, you want to get rid of this. You don't want it lying around as much as you can off. Do not cut the fabric. Your mouth plate fabric. Okay, one more little section here and we'll be done.
The chat room's discussing that the use of the glue gun is on the mouth plate, but the rest of the fabric will be glued down using spray glue.
Pretty well.
Which I'm pretty sure is your method.
Yeah, pretty well. There are still areas that I use the glue gun. Areas that have extra stress put on them, and I'll be just covering that in a moment. And it's pretty well the same method as well, not really, but it's similar. Okay. Okay, almost off. There we go. Okay. Well, I'm glad that happened, because now you just see what happens when you do make a mistake like that, how to correct it. So.